So again, we have Illustrator open. We set up an 11 by 17, and now we opened up in Photoshop a razzle dazzle. We're going to select all, edit, copy, go into Illustrator, edit, paste. And the reason, like I said, it typically will paste it to fit better than maybe when you open it, we're not sure what it is, but you can do it either way. You can also open it. So after we do this, what we want to do is create line geometry out of this, okay? So I'm going to highlight and select the image. I'm going to go to Object. There should be a live trace, and then it's say trace. I don't know if you guys have tracing options. You guys have tracing options? Under select the object, go to Object, Live Trace, Tracing Options.
Object what?
Yeah, yours might say different. Is there an image trace option, or?
But then there's no more.
All right, so ours is just make. Mine is make. So there's make and expand. Is there a make and expand? So just do make and expand. And what this does now, it turns this into line geometry. So vector. We went from raster to vector. Okay. And I can tell now because if I pick this stuff, it turns into, it's all lines. So it's no longer an image. And then what I want to do is select everything. So I select this whole thing. Alright, and then we want to get rid of the fill. So I can come here and click on the little white and little black on the left. And then I can pick the fill and turn it into none. So now it's just line geometry. So this just turned it into actual line geometry.
We did select all, and then we did edit.
So to turn it into what I did now, I just picked it, and then over here in the corner there's default fill stroke, or D, and then I select the fill and I make it none. Cool? Yes, feeling good about this?
No.
No, you can't do it. Okay, hold on.
I missed the...
So do a select all, file, export. And down here we have DWG. So make sure you select DWG as file type. Can't believe we're on week 14. And then save it. And then 2004, that's fine. Should be able to leave the default. And then we're going to switch, after it's saved, we're going to switch to our Rhino Grasshopper. I'm just deleting these so I can do it again. So. Okay. So that's my unfolded, right? Yeah, well, I'm going to do it to both. So here's my shape, all right? So what we want to do now is we want to insert, file, insert. We're going to insert this DWG. So over here we have the ability to, if we click the little folder, oh, get in the right school. We can import that. Insertion point, uniform, we'll leave everything. Individual objects, don't, make it as a group for now. We can always ungroup it. Make it as a group so it's easier to move around. Okay, and hit OK. And then just hit OK. And then it's asking where do you want to put it, and just click. So it should come in some size. Yeah, you could do it in the top view, perspective. Okay. So now we have it in. What we want to do is flip it up. Okay. So we're going to do rotate 3D. So rotate 3D. And then what we need is, you have it selected first, or you select it after. It asks for the rotation axis. We want to rotate this thing up. So our axis is going to be along here. That's going to be our starting point, and then we're rotating it up. Okay? If we hold down the shift key, it'll snap to like a 90. So that's us just flipping that up. Sorry? Not through the C-plane. We're just using rotate 3D. So we rotate it about the X. But we have to actually draw that. All right, I'll do that again. So it's, did I just lose it? No, there it is. Sorry, the color, be careful what color that is. Okay, so I can select it all, rotate 3D, click there, shift click there, shift click there, shift click there. So I just flip it up, alright? Now what we're going to do is similar, we're doing camouflage, so we're trying to camouflage, so we're trying to replicate what we did in the mapping where we actually applied the map per view, so it sort of wrapped it, okay? So we're doing a similar technique in this case, where we're actually going to project to a surface. Okay? So to make this happen is we need to get this set up in a view. So this is where you need to figure out what view. I'm going to say my front view. So I basically need to take this, if I switch this to shaded so I'm in a front view, I'm going to take this. I want to scale it so it's bigger enough to sort of cover my piece per se, right? And then move it so it's fitting over my piece. Right. So what we're going to do then is project it in this view to the object. Okay. Then you got to scale it down. So if you go like to a perspective view, it should look like this. Alright, so if you're seeing your rendered texture, but you're in rendered, just switch it to shaded. Okay, so everybody has it set up? Right, so what you want to do in some view, tap, whatever, make sure you can pick the pattern, and then go to the view that you're going to project to, like in my case the front. So I have my pattern selected, I'm in the front view, and I'm going to type in project. Okay. And then I'm going to hit enter. Then it says select surfaces or poly surfaces, and I'm just going to come over and select everything, which are all the surfaces, and then hit enter. And what it's going to do is actually project all this line geometry onto the surfaces, both front and back. So once I'm done, if I go to my perspective, here's all my geometry projected.
Probably need to be pretty close to the apple.
Does not need to be pretty close, no. Doesn't need to be touching it or anything. Just needs to be in front of it. And the key is you want to make sure you have the correct view highlighted. So if you have the wrong view highlighted, it won't project. So you want to select this, but then get into the front and activate the front. And then type in project. And then select. And then hit enter. Again, guys, make sure you actually explode the line work. So you want to make sure this line work is individual line work. Another trick, guys, go ahead and select everything. Go under properties. And then there's show surface ISO curves. Just turn that off so you get rid of all those extra lines. So you're just seeing your lines.
It's under.
Properties at the bottom. Okay, did everybody get this? Yeah? Okay, so we're going to unroll this now with the curved lines. Okay? So this is going to be the trick. I know you guys are doing your patterns out of the triangulated, right? But I rather use the curved geometry to make the pattern on the line work on the triangulated, because in the end we're not triangulating it. Because if we use the triangulated model, the lines will get faceted that we project. So what we're going to do is let's unroll. I'm going to unroll this surface. So I'm going to do unroll. Sorry, I'm not even going to pick that yet. I'm going to do unroll surf. Select that. Let's do that again. Yeah, they don't want it. It doesn't even want to unroll it, so we have to do a smash. And then what we'll do is select. Yeah, why isn't that one unroll? Let's go ahead and try that again. Hold on. I don't know why it's giving me a problem. Like, that one doesn't even want, it doesn't want it to unroll. That one it can. Alright, let's do this one on mine that we can't. So if I pick that, and then pick just all the curves, and then hit enter, it's going to unroll my geometry with the curves. So you basically want to, you want to select the surface and then the curves. You can do them all because it's only going to pick the ones that sit on the surface. So let me do that again. So I type in unroll. I pick the surface. Then I just pick all the geometry. Then hit enter. So you pick the surface first. Okay? So let's try this one. Pick that, and then pick everything and hit enter. So there's that one. Guess you gotta move this stuff. It's taking that one at least. So I'm gonna do that one. So there's that one. The cool thing is then, like, just imagine making out some fabric, and then you gotta figure out what the stretch is, like how much the material stretches.
Should we join them now?
Join what? What we're gonna do next is I'm gonna say show. The next thing is we have the triangulated version of that, right? And let's talk about that in a minute. So this is the triangulated version of that. Well, if we put them over each other, you can see where they really don't line up. Very well. It's more about what we're maybe picking for the top. And this is a sort of they're not too far off, you know. So the idea is, in the end, we're going to make stencils out of, out of this geometry, but apply it to the triangulated, because that's the one that we're cutting and putting it in assembling. If we project right to the triangulated, what we're going to get is a lot of stepping. So what that starts to look like. Oops, let me open another, because I've been doing this quite a bit to try to figure it out. So again, stencil. So what I'll do is I'll keep on going. You can see we're missing this triangle. I didn't really realize that. I'll have to unroll that again. Yeah, the grasshopper definition sometimes loses parts. And then I'll make a stencil of this, and we can do it together and try it. Okay. So I have my foam here. So let me let me get this set up, and then we'll plot on this thing real quick, and then we'll do the rendering part after that. Okay. So why don't you guys keep on working on this?
Is there another way to unroll them?